supporting adults with learning disabilities to make health decisions, Principle 2 of the Mental Capacity Act.
People make decisions all the time, but often need help to do so.
Making health decisions can be tricky.
This research is trying to find out people with learning disabilities wants to be supported to make their own health decisions in line with the Principle 2 of the Mental Capacity Act.
48 people talked to the researcher. They were 19 people with a learning disability, 6 family members, 16 healthcare staff, and 7 student nurses.
We find that people with a learning disability wants to make their own health decisions.
We found evidence of good practice.
Yes, some people are well supported to make their own health decisions.
But not everyone has a good experience.
This is what we found out.
People with a learning disability know their decision-making rights.
Doctors and nurses cannot tell me what to do.
Making my own decisions makes me happy.
Making health decisions makes me feel really good about myself.
Before I wouldn't say boo to a goose, but now they can't shut me up.
But if I'm not supported to make my own health decisions, I feel like I'm powerless, like I have no control over my own body or what's happened to it. Why is it that because I've got a learning disability, I haven't got the right to know about my health and my body? It's my body.
Talk to me, tell me about the decision that need to be made.
I think some doctors and nurses assume people with a learning disability can't speak for ourselves. They assume we can't make a decision. That's wrong.
With support, we can make our own health decisions.
Don't make comments like, oh, this person lacks capacity, so we'll just go ahead with that. Support the person to make their own decisions.
Everyone has a voice. It is the job of health staff to hear our voice.
If it's used properly, the Mental Capacity Act is a tool to maintain human rights.
Don't access our capacity. Help us to understand the decision.
We often think we're doing the best for our patients, but it might not be what the patient wants. This is what healthcare staff told us.
The most important thing is to really understand the person.
I had to be very careful how I supported him to make a decision about changing his medication. I had to pace the information so that I did not overload him with information all at once.
We put a little folder together about having the surgery, so at any point she could go and have a look at it and speak to the staff who were supporting her on a daily basis.
Ben was absolutely petrified of going to any health appointments, so some of my work was around talking through and listening to his feelings, worries and anxieties before we talked about the procedure needed.
We could see how upset she became when we were talking about the procedure, and how she became so irate in her body movements, her volume, change of the tones of the sound she was making, indicating her preference, her decision. And so we used videos to evidence that we could show that she was saying yes and no in her own way.
Healthcare professionals need to understand that whilst there might be conflict with family members, it's from a very caring, loving, and often from a fearful place. You should respect the family members' views and listen to what they say.
I don't expect to get it 100% right every single time, but I learn from each experience and also talk to my peers for support, making sure that I've got somebody who I can go back to and ask advice from them.
Supporting a person to make their own decision is very, very rewarding.
The outcome was very positive. It was brilliant. She now comes to the outpatient clinic without support. Hello, Bella.
If the person has a more severe learning disability and does not communicate using words, this is what family members said.
Remember, family holds the history.
Families often have the overview. They know what has worked and what has not worked before.
Really important for somebody who doesn't communicate using words or understand the health procedure. The staff listen to those who know them best. It might be a family member or it might be a support staff.
Ask the family. They have little gems of information that make it easier for everyone.
It's about understanding that everyone has the knowledge that is needed to get a good outcome.
Family members are not difficult people. We want the best outcome for our loved ones.
There are no quick fixes.
Work with us, not against us.
Key messages for health staff to support decision making.
As health professionals, we should know what we are doing. We need to be prepared for our patients.
Explain to me what the decision is.
Sometimes I will bring my carer or family to an appointment.
But remember, talk to me and not my carer.
It's my body.
My carer is there just in case the doctor says something that I don't really understand, and the carer can then explain it in a way that I do understand.
Be honest. I trust my doctor more when they are honest. Don't lie to me. Prepare me for what might happen.
If possible, give the person time after the appointment. They might want time to talk about the decision with someone they choose.
Because I might be wrong, so I'll double check if I've understood it right.
Supporting decision making can be a process of trial and error. Keep going until you find the right approach.
Final takeaway messages. Families are not difficult people. They want the best outcomes for their loved one. Work with them, not against them.
Staff often think they're doing the best for their patient, but it might not be what the patient wants.
Yes. Making your own decision is not just awesome, it feels like you're being your own Prime Minister.
Support us to make our own health decisions.
Yes!